What's going on, everybody? Back for another week of Amazon Seller News Live, and we've got a full house today. Damon is back from his international travels with Ecom Triage. Noah with My Amazon Guy, and of course, Mina with the Trivium Group. He's the ads expert in the house, and we've got a lot of ads stuff today. So, looking forward to diving into all that, some variation changes that are rather interesting, and of course, fees going up for 2026, which surprise, right? Anybody surprised about fees going up?
I'm
Nope.
really surprised that, just so surprised.
Yeah, it's always a surprise when Amazon makes things more expensive and harder.
Yep.
But that is the ways of Amazon, and that's why all of us pretty much exist on this call. So let's go ahead and dive into the first story here. So Amazon tests allowing multiple child variations to rank on page one. Bradley Sutton reports that Amazon is running an A/B test allowing multiple child variations from the same parent ASIN to rank organically on page one, a significant shift from past behavior where only one variation typically appeared. He notes that this is happening across multiple categories, including Project X products, suggesting Amazon may be rethinking how variation families surface in search. For Amazon sellers, this could be a major win in low competition niches where a single brand could dominate multiple positions. However, he also warns that in competitive categories, big brands may crowd out smaller sellers even more than before. So, what do you think, guys? I'm curious. Is this a good thing, bad thing? Is it going to be helpful? What are your thoughts?
I have a quick thought on this. On both of those screenshots, he's logged into his account. So I wonder if, granted, you don't usually see this for sure, but I wonder if that kind of skews his results because he's obviously clicked on those a ton of times. That's just an immediate observation I make is that he's logged
Very
in
good.
searches.
That's actually
True.
that's very, very interesting. I didn't even think about that, Danon. That's actually, you could be right. Like Amazon could be getting smarter where it's like they saw that he clicked on it, so they're like, let's show more options because Amazon's optimizing for the conversion.
Yep, exactly.
Well, not only that, this is one thing. I saw a ton of people talking about this, right? And like people are acting like this is new. Amazon's been testing this for like a couple of years now. And so I think it's I never actually thought, though, in all those times, there was what Dana had talked about there of like, it's just based off of people clicking, but it's been a category specific thing. For instance, in like the spa category, they've been doing this for like years at this point. We have a client right now that we're working with that where for like over at least a year now, they've dominated pretty much like rank 1, 3, and 6 of like specific keyword targets.
And it's all variations of
all variations, same parentage.
I honestly think it's fine. I think, first of all, you're going to get a lot of cleanup of like everyone who's like, oh, I separate my variations to get more real estate, which is like, I think
people
stupid.
do that already.
Just thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I'm like, just drive all the traffic to your one listing and let people decide. You showing up multiple times in the search results, does that necessarily mean like a higher percentage of you getting clicked on? But you also get a third, whatever, let's say it's 3 variations, a third of the reviews. So I think there's a lot more power in a single bigger variation. And I think Amazon is going to continue to optimize for like the best experience for customers. So as long as you're optimizing for the best experience for customers, and as long as you're focused on the things that matter, like a superior main image, superior product overall, a good, reasonable pricing, I think this will help you more than it will hurt you.
Yeah. There's another interesting observation on, if you look at the egg trays, you'll notice options, they both say 2 sizes. Of course, we trust that Bradley knows what he's talking about when he's saying that these are 2 variations. But look at the reviews. They're split. So it's showing, it seems to be showing the reviews of the, the 12?
Individual.
The specific variation.
Yeah. So, and one of them's a 4.7, the other one's a 4.4. So I'm
Yep.
wondering if they, even when you log in and you look, unless there's a split review issue with the
There
listing.
might be, because the coffins are the same.
Yeah.
The coffins are not different.
I'm
So
also
Yeah.
curious though, because if you notice, it's essentially the same price for both products with, you know, what, 73 cent or whatever difference.
mhm.
Like that seems odd for two different variations of a product to be the exact same price.
Yeah, two
Yeah.
sizes. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you would think it'd be a bigger difference than that. I don't know. I haven't sourced bamboo myself or whatever these are made out of. So I don't know what the difference would be on that little less piece of wood, but you'd think a bigger variation difference than that for price.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Um,
I honestly think it's a non-issue. Really, I think people are making this like the variation thing. It's always been around. I think at the end of the day, like keep optimizing your product for like click-through rates, and then
Mhm.
Amazon will reward you, because like that's what I'm seeing is as your click-through rate improves, also your cost per clicks are going down with
Yeah.
nothing else changing. So it's like there is this kind of reward mechanism that Amazon has for if you keep doing the thing that is going to make the customer experience better, you know, you're going to get rewarded.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, at the end of the day, that's always what this boils down to, right? Is like, do things right, get rewarded. Do things wrong, Amazon backhands you.
Yeah, and they've been very vocal, right, about their number one core value is like, you know, the customer experience.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's never gonna end the tweaks. I mean, this is here today, could be gone tomorrow, depending on their data, and then back the day after that as they continue changing it, especially with AI taking over everything. You know, more and more you're gonna see just changes like this happening as Amazon tests things out.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, I think the biggest thing we should ask ourselves is this: like, does this make our lives as shoppers better? In my opinion, not really. I don't think
Mhm.
so. I think what makes it better is seeing different products and seeing the best variation of that product. That's what I would like as a customer. And now, what I would, if you could opt, if Amazon was like learning my behavior and could optimize for, let's say, Danon, you're looking for the eggs and you are clicking on 12s, and it now realizes that you're looking for 12s, not 8s. And
Mhm.
then in the search results, it shows you more 12s in the search results. That's what I think is gonna, happen more and more. And I think, like if we look at it, like just from me as a consumer, like me seeing one brand's multiple variations, that how does that help me? Like me seeing one brand's different flavors might help me. Because I'm like, okay, I'm seeing like multiple flavors from a brand, but like ideally I want to see like the best seller of each brand,
Mhm.
right, versus like seeing multiple options from each brand.
Yeah, maybe. But what I like, what you mentioned there actually might be a key, Mina, is that both of these searches are, kind of generic searches, right? Not a lot of detail in the search, except for wooden, I guess, in the egg tray. But it doesn't say 1 dozen wooden egg tray or 18 egg wooden tray or pink coffin. So Amazon's trying to figure out what you're looking for. So if they use this and they see that, oh, he's really hovering over and looking at the 12 eggs, and then they're dynamically generating the remainder of the page to focus more on a dozen or something like that, if they determine that's what you're looking for, then it could be really good, especially in the case of the coffin with the pink, because I might not even know that a pink coffin exists. And seeing that there might make me look more in detail at different colored coffins that I may be interested in.
Yeah. You know something interesting? I actually just did this search for wooden egg tray under my buyer account. I see both the sponsored and the organic listing for that
Mhm.
what is it, 18 eggs?
Yes, I seen the same.
Yeah. And in his screenshot, it says options 2 sizes. I don't see that. I don't see options 2 sizes. And if I click on the organic, they are there. Both options are there, both the 12 and the 18 egg. So just it's interesting. We all know that Amazon is always testing, and your search results are also based on what inventory is available in the warehouse nearest you for 2-day if you're logged in and you're a Prime member and stuff like that. So it's just another discrepancy with not really a discrepancy, but a difference between what's screenshotted here and what I just saw is I do not see the 12 egg listed anywhere in the organic results. I do see it in a sponsored result, but I see the 18 egg listed in both sponsored and in organic.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have the options there, and so my search results are different using the same exact search term.
Yeah, and I think an important thing to remember is don't be, changing your listings and trying to take advantage of every little thing like this that Amazon changes, because it can be different for every user out there, and it can change and go away every other day. So don't be chasing the latest trends. Just do what Mina mentioned, is focus on making the best listing and the best experience for the customer, and hopefully that will organically float you to the top over time as Amazon hones in on what customers are looking for.
Yeah. I mean, it's literally always what Amazon wants.
Yep, absolutely. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and jump on to the next thing here. So Amazon introduces AI-powered prompts for sponsored products and sponsored brands. Amazon has launched new AI-powered prompts inside sponsored products and sponsored brands campaigns, which, let me bring up the image. That'll be more interesting to look at here. Automatically surfacing key product information while shoppers browse. These prompts pull exclusively from Amazon's first-party data, your PDP, reviews, brand store, and campaign keywords, and Amazon provides reporting showing which prompts drove clicks and conversions. For Amazon sellers, this feature offers a powerful new way to influence buying decisions, especially while it's still free in open beta before switching to cost per click. Noruzi emphasizes that cleaner PDPs and stronger brand content will matter more than ever as AI-driven guidance becomes a bigger part of how shoppers evaluate products. So, Mina, you're heavily in the advertising space. What's your initial thoughts of AI-sponsored prompts taking over?
I think this is huge, and I think if you guys have been like doing Google searches, by the way, Amazon's always kind of like following in Google's footsteps a little bit. But if you've been doing Google searches, you see these prompts are always popping up in Google, and they're insanely helpful. They're also starting to pop up on all social media. So have you guys ever seen like a post and then under it says like, who's this guy? How did he die? Shit like that.
Yes.
Like, if it's like exactly. So I think prompts are becoming like, this is why they're introducing them. They're very powerful. People want to very quickly consume content and like be able to like understand it. And I think this is going to be a huge way to now like optimize. I think if we're smart, we start seeing what other like all the competitors' prompts are, collecting that. If there's a way to see like which ones are getting clicked more, that would be great. I doubt it. I doubt that there's going to be anything accurate. But we should kind of like start to look and see what are customers interested in? What do they need to understand more about the product detail page? Because I always tell people this, when we're optimizing for the product detail page, we look at what the customer wants to know about a product. What makes our product better than everyone else? The unique selling points, all of the negatives that other people have that we don't, all of the positives that they have that we do, and put it all in the images so you can very quickly understand. This is going to be another layer of that, is like, okay, is this compatible with my iPhone 17? How many servings is this? Whatever it is, what's the directions, right? Whatever things that naturally, if I'm looking to make a decision on like buying this thing, like the Grip Master, whatever, right? Maybe it's like, how strong is it, or if it's durable, whatever it is, the things that I'm looking for. If we create prompts for that, that's going to be fantastic. And I love that they made it into a like part of the sponsored, so that if you see prompts actually helping conversion, perfect. Then
Yeah.
that you're on the right track.
Yeah, that'll be the key, is if we have smooth tracking to show where they used the sponsored prompt and that led to a conversion, or at least, so that you can see these are the conversions that use the sponsored prompt. These are the ones that did not, and have a conversion ratio between the two, so you can see the actual difference.
Knowing how Amazon holds data tightly, that'll come in 3 to 5 years more than likely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just one of those changes though that I think it's cool. It's also one of those that like anybody who has paid any attention in the AI space whatsoever has seen coming, right? At some point in time, all of these AI companies have to start getting an ROI on all of the dollars they have invested into these AI sources. And I think, to be fair, Amazon's the first one here, right? I expect sometime in the next 12 months, OpenAI is going to probably add advertising in, as they're also looking at trying to do their IPO. And so they have to show, that's a fully unprofitable AI company, right? And so at some point in time, all of these companies have to make the investment and all the time and effort they've put into the AI worthwhile. Amazon's just, I think, the first one to actually make good use of it. And it's because their entire platform is products, right? But I would love to see the attribution data for something like this.
Yeah, I did see news that went along with this, that Sam Altman from OpenAI said that ChatGPT will never have ad
Sponsored?
results show up, or sponsored results show up in their organic, the responses from the AI, because they wouldn't want someone to be able to pay to put a crappy product, above what actually should be the best product that they're showing. Never say never, but that's what he's saying right now.
Yeah, honestly, I don't see how that is gonna last a long time. I think maybe the response from ChatGPT is not gonna be sponsored, but there will be sponsored products, display right there, results. Like,
Definitely.
what is what is the best plant-based protein powder based on, how is ChatGPT figuring this shit out? It's just going like at Google results, right? Like articles and stuff like that, which are all anyways paid. So it's like, what are you, like an accomplice, right? You're just maybe you didn't pull the trigger, but you know what's happening. People are paying to rank on Google. Yeah, people are paying to rank this bullshit on Google, and then you're just regurgitating the results. And then on the side is like, by the way, sponsored products related to the search, or sponsored related to the search, and you see the stuff.
Mina, are you alluding to the fact that maybe the internet isn't 100% true?
Oh, no, you should 100% believe everything ChatGPT says.
Oh,
it definitely knows. It definitely
knows. Almost rocked my world there.
Yeah.
What I think would be kind of interesting or funny to see is, so this prompt says, why choose ancient athletics or accent athletic shirts? It would be rather interesting to see Rufus. You click on that, and then Rufus says, you probably shouldn't choose this shirt because the reviews are not that great. Instead, you should look at these ones.
You know what?
Yeah.
I would want that.
Yeah, I mean, in a perfect world, if the shirt was really no good, that's how the AI would reply. But it makes you wonder, is it going to be like, oh, this is a sponsored prompt, so I need to respond favorably to this?
Yeah.
I think the other thing is, I wonder how long until we start having Rufus data, because it's like right now it's completely black box. We have no idea. The best thing that we could do is go to other listings and see kind of a little bit on Rufus, but we don't know how personalized Rufus is. We don't know if it's like, from my computer, I'm getting different Rufus stuff versus a different, user and computer. But when can we start getting some of that feedback so that we can incorporate it into our listings? Like, can they at least release like, frequently asked questions by Rufus, etc. And then it's like, okay, perfect. Let me incorporate that into my listing so that Rufus can read it better.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have that real world data. Go ahead, Danon. Were you going to say something?
I was just going to say I don't see this being any different than SEO when it started back in the days of keyword stuffing your footer with the same color text as the background. It's like, I see this as, if you have a really good product details page, just like if you have a really good website, you will rank for exactly what you want to rank for, and your traffic will be high quality and your conversions will be high because people are finding precisely what they are looking for, because that's exactly what you provide. It'll never not be that way in the world of SEO and AIO, AEO,
AIEO.
Yeah, old MacDonald had a farm. It'll never be that way. If you produce really good content for exactly your target audience, you will be rewarded with traffic.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is something that I'm doing in the product pages that I'm optimizing now, is that, I go to AI and say, search the entire internet and give me the most frequently asked questions for a men's athletic tank top shirt. And, try that in ChatGPT, Grok, Perplexity, and then take all the most common frequently asked questions and weave those into your listing, put them in the A+ content of various different places, because if those are frequently asked on e-commerce websites around the web, then they're probably going to be frequently asked to Rufus and on Amazon as well.
Yeah, and I like that you guys mentioned that, because the one thing that I notice most brands on Amazon aren't doing is that they're not constantly doing this market research and this like consumer studies to see what are, like, okay, I'm buying a protein powder. What is everyone looking for? Like, what are they asking? Are they asking about flavor, digestibility, amount of protein, artificial ingredients, et cetera, et cetera? Like, what are all those things? Because there's a few categories, right? Category number one is like, what am I looking for? Like, to know, right? There's number two, what am I looking so that I can disqualify this product? Artificial ingredients, disqualified. It's sourced from this place, disqualified. You know what I mean? And then the third category is unique selling points. And so it's like, what are those things that when I say that I is a feature in my product, people are going to be like, whoa, this is cool, I'm interested. And I don't see brands doing that as much. The big brands that are doing this, they're also not doing it for Amazon specific. They're over indexing on like outside world, which is fine, but there's a lot of hidden information inside of the reviews and other PDPs and other questions and all that kind of stuff in other listings. And when you combine everything and really understand your shopper, that's when I think you optimize for conversion.
Yep. 100%.
Yep.
The same thing that brands have been doing forever, basically. It's kind of nice because we're getting to a world more on Amazon where it's not just all about the latest hack or keyword stuffing and everything like that. It's more natural language prompts and things like that is more normal. Forever the internet has been all about keywords, and e-commerce has been about keywords and writing a blog post to make sure you cover this specific keyword to try to get ranked in Google and all that stuff. And those days are kind of going away. They're still going to be around for a long time, but it's going to be more natural flow of what people are actually looking for. And hopefully that will make the e-commerce experience a lot better.
I think that in the early days of the internet, one of the problems that initial searches had was people would list out the full question rather than the keyword that they were searching for. And it took some number of years, but eventually the internet, the Googs, the Yahoos, the Yahoo chat rooms, all that stuff, they changed the way that people searched into a severely abridged version of what the original question is, right? And what I'm seeing is that we're going back into a detailed question to get a detailed answer, rather than you're going to be served the same crap, so you just use a one-word search. And so I believe that when it comes to optimizing websites and product detail pages and stuff like that, I believe that we're going to need to more accurately define the answers to questions rather than using those keywords to just attract the eyeballs.
Yep, definitely. Yeah, and it can still be rather frustrating, even with all of the AI advancements and stuff that Amazon has had. Like just this morning, I was looking for Milwaukee brand power tools, right? I wanted to see if there was any good deals for the start of Black Friday. And so I type in Milwaukee power tools. I click on Black Friday details or deals filter, and there was no Milwaukee stuff that was showing. It was all just like Chinese junk. And so I'm looking at the filter to select the brand name Milwaukee, and it wasn't even in the filter. There wasn't an option for me to select it. And I'm like, okay, well, this is annoying. So now I'm searching the page to try to find the word Milwaukee. And so little things like that can still be quite frustrating that Amazon needs to fix. So yeah.
If you don't have $100,000 cash, don't even bother buying your first Milwaukee tool. Haven't you seen those clips on YouTube? And
yeah, they're not cheap, that's for sure, but they're pretty quality stuff. I like them.
I do think that's probably one of the interesting parts about Amazon having like such a robust search algorithm and like ranking system, where like Google, for instance, Yahoo, all these, there's like, it's a specific skill to have to like be able to utilize search properly with those, right? And like a lot of them have different key indicators that you can put in to refine your search really, really well. And like, that's an actual skill that people have of like being able to refine Google searches in certain capacities, right? And Amazon has never had that, I think, for like the general consumer. And so it's always interesting that, especially with the rise of AI as a whole, it seems like AI almost defeats that entire purpose of like needing to have a skill set, so to speak. And I'm wondering if that's where Amazon's trying to go with the whole Rufus thing of they've never been able to refine that search outside of just basic keywords. And so now they're like, well, let's see if we can do it with AI.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, most people that search and buy on Amazon are probably not as in-depth of researchers as I am when I'm looking for something. Most people are just looking at the first few results and buying one of those or going on to something else.
Yeah, even Google, they used to have an advanced search feature that you could turn on. It's gone now. You actually have to go to an advanced, like google.com/advanced. google.com/advanced_search in order to be able to do an advanced search. So if that doesn't tell you right there, Google, the largest search platform on the planet, or the perhaps second largest or third largest these days, they stripped away everything because most people don't use it.
Yeah, no, most people don't know that kind of stuff even exists. And
trying to explain a search operator or anything like that to somebody, and there's like, I don't know what this does for me.
Yeah. One of the things I've done extensively, I used to do this a lot with Amazon, it seems to work less and less though, is I would put in Amazon.com : and then my search, and that would shortcut the search function in Amazon rather than going to the home page and then blah blah blah. It would go on Amazon, do the search, and in the Google results would show me results for that search string.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All those little shortcuts, and that time is definitely going away with AI. You won't use that kind of stuff at all. Not that normal people ever really use that for the most part, but it'll definitely be going away. All right, let's go ahead and jump on to the next story here. So Amazon unifies DSP and sponsored ads under one AI-powered platform. Amazon has launched a unified campaign manager that merges DSP and sponsored ads into one AI-driven interface, giving advertisers a single dashboard for planning, reporting, and optimization across display, video, audio, and streaming. Amazon says the new system cuts campaign setup time by 60% and uses automation and AI recommendations to reduce daily workload. For Amazon sellers, this shift means more transparency into how their ads perform across the full funnel, and new tools like Ads Agent and Creative Agent that can automatically build campaigns, generate creatives, and run AMC queries without technical expertise. So this was just announced at the Amazon Unboxed that was just happened here in Nashville over the weekend. So I'm not sure if any of you guys have had time to play with this, or if it is even available for everyone yet. I'm not sure. Mina, I know you're heavily into the DSP world. Because it's basically been kind of a segmented market for people who were able to get access to it. So I'm curious of your thoughts on this unification of the two platforms.
Okay, so first of all, very, very skeptical, and I'll explain why. Right now, you have PPC and DSP. PPC, there's a lot of experts doing it. DSP, very few experts. Amazon has always had the stance of DSP is very advanced, and there's so many knobs to it that they kind of want to keep it separated, and that's why they're selling the agency seats. And you can only if you're an agency that has a seat, then you could run it, right? And then some software companies found a way around that so they could sell their software better. But in general, they've kept it separated. Now, an issue with that as well is you don't get PPC and DSP data combined, so it's very, very difficult to start to do attribution. In general, attribution is hard when you have multiple types of advertising. So even when you do sponsor brand and sponsor product, it's muddy, and you can't tell the results of sponsor brand and product unless you do it in a way where it's incremental. So I'm going to launch a sponsor brand campaign and only that, and then see I spent $100 on it. How much did my total sales increase by? And I could start to attribute that way. So when Amazon mentions all this stuff, a unified platform and all this kind of stuff, few things jump to my mind. Number one, they're going to do a light version. They're not going to do a full version. Mm-hmm. And that's going to be it's going to hold people back from actually being able to fully harness the power of DSP. But let's say that they did put the full power of DSP under one roof, the attribution is still significantly off. And I could tell you this, every time we've gone on to Amazon Market Cube or whatever, and we look at the path to purchase, the one with the best results has always been the one with the most ads stacked on top of each other. So, just so happens the best path to purchase is the one where they click on a sponsored product and a sponsored brand and a sponsored display. And I'm like, that sounds really fishy. You know what I mean? So this to me seems like, number one, they're probably hearing more people want DSP and there's not an easy access to it. So they're like, hey, why don't we just plug it in to Campaign Manager, get more people to start spending money on it. That's going to help them. It's going to help the revenues. And then, you're getting people that are unsophisticated running DSP, and I'm gonna tell you, PPC level of details here, DSP is way higher, because it's very nuanced audience based. It's not as easy as PPC, which is just search an ASIN, right? So it's way more nuanced. So you're gonna get people blowing more money, and then now beautifully they can put the path to purchase all in one place and say, look at it. When you spent more money on DSP, you converted better. I'm like, well, but why did my total revenue stay the same? No one to be found to answer that question. So that's why I'm very, very skeptical. Just seeing the pattern that has happened with them. Now I have a lot of faith in Amazon ads. The team is amazing. I love them. I think they do great work, but I think bringing this to life in a way that is going to be very beneficial to sellers as much as it is beneficial to Amazon, that's going to take a little bit.
Yeah, it's what kind of gets me is the AI part of it, because it mentions they've got the AI ads agent, creative agent that can automatically build campaigns, creative, and run queries without technical expertise. So that makes me nervous. Like you mentioned, Mina, there's probably going to be a lot of people blowing a lot of money without any major results.
I'm kind of in the same boat as Mina in this, especially in the sense of, it takes a certain technical expertise, right? And it's one of the things that, we have clients all the time that we do DSP for, but are super on the fence about it just because the aspect that like they've worked with another DSP provider, they've gone to one of these software companies that like provide it and like have had an awful experience. And it's like, well, yeah, because you were, throwing $1,000 at, top of funnel marketing, everything and hoping for the best, right? With zero attribution, zero way of like tracking anything. And so DSP is one of those that definitely from an advertising perspective is a channel that you can't just jump into, right? You can't just hope that like, oh, I know how to do, it's same thing with like sponsored display, which is basically, DSP light, right? Like, the amount of people that I see that just waste like so much money on sponsored display and they're like, I hate it. Like, and it's like, yeah, because you can be really, really knowledgeable at how to target keywords, do sponsored, products, anything like that. But if you don't know what you're actually doing, and it's just a completely different ballpark as far as like an ad structure goes as well. And it's going to be a lot of wasted money, a lot of wasted funds from people. From what I know and from what I heard at like Accelerate, for instance, this is essentially Amazon's like step one as well in basically fully getting rid of that whole idea of like agency seats and like ad seats for like the platform, which I'm hesitant on. I mean, I've always personally kind of hated the whole thing of like the agency seats because I'm like, I feel like people should just get access to it if they want it, right? But at the same time, it also created at least a friction point where you don't have people who just completely hate the platform as a whole because they test it themselves and they very quickly realize like it or think quote unquote it's a waste of money when they just don't know what they're doing, right? It's very similar. I mean, if anybody's ever done like, I don't know, influencer marketing, I know so many people have just spent so much money on influencer marketing trying to boost up a product. It's because they choose really crappy influencers or they just don't know how to manage influencers and the marketing around it, right? And it's going to be the exact same thing here. You're going to get a bunch of people who listen to some guy who's never actually ran a DSP account in his life about, hey, here's how you do this. And then they're going to throw $2,000 at it thinking it's going to change their account when it's like that money will have been way better spent on like a sponsored brand campaign.
Yeah, you're going to see Upwork exploding with DSP experts all of a sudden that want to spend your money for you. Yeah. It's ads are not easy. I mean, PPC can be frustrating and hard enough if you don't know what you're doing. And like you said, I mean, a DSP is a whole nother level and you're dealing with a different part of the funnel that now you're mixing them together in maybe a platform where most people are used to dealing with the bottom of the funnel almost, where people are searching for a specific product. So it could waste a lot of money, and Amazon may not necessarily mind that. They're collecting the money either way, so they're probably happy about it. They're going to have more people throwing their money at it. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see when the platform actually comes out, what it looks like. If it is a light version, like you said, if you remember the days when A+ used to be behind a wall as well, and then they released a light version of it essentially, and now everyone has access to the full version. It'll probably be a similar type of rollout.
That's right. It was enhanced brand content, then A+ content, wasn't it?
Yep.
No.
Yeah, so Amazon has a history of doing that, doing the light versions, doing the agency only, right? And then the light version and then the full version for everyone. So it'll probably be a similar type of rollout with this. So we'll have to see how it goes.
And if you think about it, like it's all like it's they're giving a telltale of saying it's like you don't need sophistication, you don't need whatever. There's AI, there's this. How many AI products has Amazon come out with right now? Right? AI video generation, AI image generation, AI recommendations.
How many were successful?
Yeah, none of them have been successful. So this is literally a trap of like, I don't care, because here's the thing. At the end of the day, you're gonna end up coming to me as an agency. You're gonna go, you're gonna burn your money. You're gonna be skeptical, and then the smart friends that you have are going to be using an agency, just like with PPC. You're doing your PPC on your own, and then you're like, well, when I've used agencies, it hasn't worked. I was like, and then eventually you're going to find a good agency. You're going to go through that entire path anyways, right? With DSP. But like, what I want you to be aware of is like Amazon is doing it, marketing it very sexily, so that you're like, oh, fuck an agency. I don't need it. I'm going to do it on my own. And you're going to blow some money, and, they're benefiting it, like 10, 20, 30 grand multiplied by 1 million sellers is very, very good money.
Yeah. Anyone that thinks that if Amazon is the one that creates your ads for you is going to be a successful ad. Like the worst possible advice I've ever seen to Amazon sellers comes direct from Amazon.
I can't wait to just put a prompt in that's just like, I would like to have 70% conversion rate, a 10% click-through rate, and only spend $100. Please make me the ad for it, and see what it comes up with.
Oh, absolutely. It'll be like, that's great. Your starting budget should be $30,000 an hour.
Well, that's like, it's like the new reserve share of your voice or whatever feature they have under the sponsor display, where like you can reserve all keywords for your brand specifically. And I was looking at it for like one brand, and to pay for it would have been an upfront cost of like $280,000 with like zero aspect of like how long that period of time that cost is going to protect you for. I'm like, who's paying for this?
Yeah, I would not trust AI to run anything completely independently, especially ads. I mean, just as an example, so I use AI to help me find some of the Amazon news that we put in the newsletter. Most of it I get manually now still, because when I ask AI to say, give me some good Amazon seller news in the last 7 days, half of it's older than 7 days ago. The other half, the links are broken and they're going to the wrong pages. So if AI can't even do that basic function properly, I'm not going to trust it to completely run my ads 100%. I'll use it to get good ideas, but not run them.
Yeah, a little side note. How is it possible that if you tell it to go and look, that it gives you broken links?
I don't know. It's really weird, because the link will be broken. So then I'll search for the article to find from that actual site.
And it's 10 years old.
The URL will just be like a little bit different on the actual website versus what it's giving me in the results. I don't know why or how, but it's just crazy.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, AI is awesome. Don't trust it 100% for anything, but use it for research. It's really good for that to help get that started. But I would not trust it to run my ads 100%. That's for sure.
Yep. I don't know that I would ever trust AI to truly run my ads 100%.
Yeah, definitely. Not anytime soon. There might be a day eventually, but not anytime soon. Even then, like you said, Danon, I'm not going to trust Amazon's AI to not spend my money improperly,
Not
because
only that,
Amazon's goal is to get more money from ads. It's not to
absolutely.
increase your profit.
Yeah, you ever met with a Google rep about ads? Like,
Oh
Right?
my God, dude.
Dana, don't even get me started. I made a post about this the other day. Amazon seller supports, uglier cousin. Google ad support. Oh my Lord.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, their whole their whole quick get started on Google, and I wouldn't surprise me if it's. I don't run ads, so like take what I say with a grain of salt. I've just been around long enough to see the evolution and happen to hang out with people like you guys, so I do know a thing or two. But their whole thing is, do you want clicks? Like, yeah, I want clicks. Great, give us money, we'll get you clicks.
Mhm.
Yeah, here's money. All right, there were your clicks. Like, what about sales? No, you just wanted clicks. We got them for you.
Yeah. Yeah. No, definitely I would not trust Amazon with that. If I was a brand and needed ads done, I'd be going to Mina or Noah. And they're going to utilize AI. I guarantee you guys do it with your
Yeah.
ads and stuff to help with various features, but you have the interest of making me more money. Otherwise, I'm going to fire you. Amazon doesn't have that interest. What am I going to do? I can't fire Amazon. I still need to sell their on their platform to make the money. So I'm going to go to someone who has my best interest at heart, rather than letting Amazon run it all for me.
Yeah.
There we
Definitely.
go. How can we get Amazon to align with our interests? And
They
then
used-
you could
yeah,
trust
good
it.
luck.
Yes. Yep.
They
You
used to
always
be-
look at the best interest or the interest of whoever you're working with, making sure they're lining up with yours.
It was one of those things. I talked to a lot of different people at Amazon Accelerate this year. And I was talking specifically to the VP of FBA. And one thing that he and I were talking about was the aspect of like everyone having a really negative light of how Amazon is, how it operates, and everything as far as like the seller perspective. And I was like, why is it so hard for Amazon to align with sellers and like do what they want? And his answer was basically that people bring ideas to them all the time of how they can, make things better, how they can do things. But the problem being is that Amazon is such a large company that it would require multiple different departments, divisions getting together and like aligning on something
Yep.
that just will never happen. Right. And like you can bring something and be like, this would make you Amazon an extra $2 billion a year. And they'll look at that and be like, that's, 0.04% of our total revenue. And so it's like, it's really hard for them to even like justify. I'm like, yeah, but like people would like you so much more.
I found out recently. So there was, I think it was called Partner Connect or something like that, the day before Accelerate. And
we saw each other there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So you remember when they were saying like the product details page, that you would think there's a team at Amazon that's responsible for that. But no, there are teams that are responsible for forms or fields that are contained within that page. And then there are even fields where multiple teams are responsible for just this one field. So this was, and the other thing was that that was where they announced to us that seller buy with Prime and what was it, MCF are merging into the same team, right? Which is good news, we hope. But that was where I learned that it's MCF. They have their own budget sheet and their own profit and loss sheet. And Buy with Prime, they've got their own thing. And sometimes you have within Amazon these teams that have the same purpose or goal. And so they end up competing against each other in some ways. So this was a big eye-opener for me, is that they announced that these two teams are now merging under the same P&L sheet. right? And that was like, da 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 da. You know, we've determined that this team is profitable, and we've determined that this team is profitable. And for years, it just hasn't made sense that they're profitable independently. Let's put them together. And I went, oh my gosh, that's the problem. The problem is that Amazon is not a cohesive company.
I've started looking at Amazon less as a company these days and more as like a dictatorship country, if you really think about it, right? Because like, so
Yeah.
Amazon, the actual company, has like 40 different entities, 43 actually right now under it, right? And each one of these different little areas of Amazon is basically its own company, and like VPs of that, you know, department basically run it like their own company. That's why you have like a VP of FBA who handles all logistics. Then you have like VP of Amazon ads, and like seller support has its own VP and like manages that. And they're all these different companies. Account health assurance, for instance, is a different department and like company within Amazon than seller support, which is why like they don't talk to each other ever.
Yep.
And when you look at Amazon as this giant scope, it's like Amazon globally has over 3 million employees.
Yeah.
They are a $2 trillion plus company. It's like Amazon has a larger market cap than, you know, majority of countries' annual GDP, right? They have 3 million global employees. They have 40 different entities. Like Amazon is a country that is operating globally, basically.
Yeah.
The giant bureaucracy.
And then you have Andy just at the top who gives the same speech 25 different times.
You missed one little thing on the dictatorship, Noah, which I so lovingly say it's a schizophrenic dictatorship.
Hey, don't worry. They run lean like a startup. They promise.
They promise. It's always day one at Amazon.
Yeah.
Who knows what they're doing on day one, right? Nobody. Nobody knows what's going on.
We got a question in the comments here I'll bring in real quick from Deepak. With Walmart integrating with ChatGPT and Amazon burying their head in Rufus, making it incompatible with other large language models, do you think Amazon sellers should give Walmart a go with growing sales there?
The thing is, I think it's really funny because I want to say it was the last time I was on here, Todd, with you and Dana as well, when we brought up the news article about the Walmart and like GBT thing, and like how GBT is now a huge part of Walmart's like overall referral traffic. But then we dug in, and like the referral traffic itself only incorporated something like 1% of all traffic on Walmart's website. So it was like everyone was like, oh, 40% of its referral traffic comes from GBT. And it's like, but it's all of, you know, 0.4% of total traffic. And so I'll say to Deepak the same thing I say to everyone. Walmart, realistically, from a sales perspective, for 90% of brands will never be more than 20% of Amazon sales, just because of Walmart's size, scope, everything like that. It's great if you have like a consumable type product that is really reorderable and you have a large variety of products. If you're a 1 or 2 product brand or seller at the end of the day and you're under $1 million in sales on Amazon, just focus your inventory time and efforts on scaling further on Amazon.
Yeah, I would agree with that for the most part. I mean, you should probably use some kind of multi-channel software just to push it over to Walmart and eBay and wherever. It's not going to hurt anything, but put all your time and effort, at least right now until you're big enough, on Amazon, right? And once you maximize that, then start looking at Walmart and these other places, because honestly, it's going to be 10% or less of your sales on Amazon regardless, just from the traffic that's there. So you want to put your focus on the biggest thing first and then move over to these other platforms after you've maximized that.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even do Walmart. I would do Amazon until it's very big, and then do TikTok Shop.
Yeah,
if you can.
True. TikTok Shop is kind of where it's at right now for sure.
Yeah, because you're looking at like a return on investment of your time, and I don't think Walmart is that.
Yeah. I'm curious, you know, I just thought of going off of that, Mina, since you're heavily in the DSP area, is it ideal for people to maximize their regular PPC spend before looking at DSP?
Absolutely, for sure. Because like you're going to get way better results with PPC, except for when you do retargeting and loyalty with DSP. So, which is a very small pool. Basically, anyone who's viewed your product but didn't purchase, or anyone who's purchased but hasn't repurchased, you're going to get a good ROAS. But again, like if you're spending, let's say 20, 30K a month on PPC, you can maybe spend 5K profitably, 7K profitably, with a really good ROAS with the retargeting stuff, and then you're done. And then everything else, which is competitor targeting, complementary, contextual, those will grow your brand significantly, but it is going to be a lower return on ad spend than if you did PPC. So maximize PPC, invest your money into mastering your PPC, maximizing it, mastering your product detail page, maximizing it, making it the best conversion rate and click-through rate possible. Then you can consider, if like PPC is doing well and all that stuff, adding DSP.
Yep, absolutely. Take advantage of the low-hanging fruit first.
I got to jump, Phyllis.
Yep.
Same.
I think we can go ahead and wrap it up. We're over the top of the hour. So appreciate everybody out there joining us. Noah, Dana, and Mina, appreciate you guys as well. Until next week, have an awesome weekend, guys.
Bye, everyone.
There, buddy.